Imagine walking through a narrow canyon, the sandstone cliffs towering hundreds of feet above you, the path winding in silence. Until suddenly, the rock walls part and reveal a breathtaking sight, a towering facade carved directly into the cliff, glowing red under the desert sun. This is Petra, the rose-red city, half as old as time, an ancient wonder that vanished from the world for centuries. Petra isn't just beautiful, it's mysterious. How did a desert people carve such an incredible city into stone? Why was it abandoned? And how was it lost to history for more than 1,500 years? That's the story we'll explore today. But before we dive in, if you're fascinated by lost civilizations and strange stories from history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us bring you more deep dives into the mysteries of our past. So, what is Petra, and how did this hidden city become one of the greatest archaeological treasures in the world? Let's start at the beginning. Petra lies in what is now Jordan, nestled in the desert between the Red Sea and the Dead Sea, more than 2,000 years ago. This harsh land was home to the Nabataeans, a people who knew how to survive and thrive in the desert. Unlike many ancient peoples, the Nabataeans didn't build grand empires through conquest. Instead, they built their wealth through trade. The Nabataeans controlled the incense and spice trade routes that stretched across Arabia. Frankincense and myrrh, spices like cinnamon and pepper. All of these luxuries flowed through Petra on their way to Egypt, Greece, and Rome. And with this wealth, the Nabataeans transformed Petra into their capital, a city unlike any other. What made Petra so extraordinary wasn't just its location, but how it was built. Instead of constructing buildings with stone blocks, the Nabataeans carved entire facades directly into the sandstone cliffs. Tombs, temples, and even homes were hewn from the living rock. The most famous of these is the treasury, or Al-Khazna, with its towering columns and intricate carvings, a masterpiece of Hellenistic and Nabataean design. But Petra wasn't just beautiful, it was practical. The Nabataeans mastered the art of water management in one of the driest places on Earth. They built channels, dams, and underground cisterns to capture and store rare rainfall. This ability to control water turned Petra into a flourishing city of tens of thousands of people, complete with markets, theaters, and gardens, all in the middle of the desert. At its height, around the 1st century CE, Petra was bustling with merchants, travelers, and craftsmen. Greek, Roman, and local influences blended together in its architecture. Petra wasn't just an isolated desert city. It was a crossroads of civilizations. But every empire has its golden age and its decline. In 106 CE, the Roman Empire annexed Petra and the Nabataean kingdom. While Petra remained important for a time, the Romans shifted trade routes away from the city. Slowly, Petra's wealth faded. Then came earthquakes. Devastating ones in the 4th and 6th centuries, which destroyed much of the city's infrastructure. Without its trade and water systems, Petra's population dwindled. Eventually, the city was abandoned. For the outside world, Petra simply disappeared. To Europeans, it was as if the city had never existed. For more than 1,500 years, Petra lay hidden in the desert, known only to local Bedouin tribes who kept its secret closely guarded. That is until 1812, a Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, traveling through the region disguised as a Bedouin, heard whispers of a lost city of stone hidden in the mountains. Determined to see it, he convinced a local guide to lead him there under the pretense of sacrificing a goat at a nearby shrine. What he saw stunned him. The rose-red city carved into cliffs, long forgotten by the outside world. Burckhardt's discovery brought Petra back into the Western imagination. Today, Petra is one of the most famous archaeological sites in the world. It was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985 and later voted one of the new 7 Wonders of the World. Tourists walk the same paths the Nabataeans once did. Through the narrow gorge that leads to the treasury and into the heart of the ancient city. But Petra is more than just a tourist attraction. It's a reminder of human ingenuity and resilience. The Nabataeans turned desert stone into a thriving metropolis, mastering water, trade, and architecture in ways that continue to impress modern engineers. And yet, Petra is also fragile. The same sandstone that made its monuments possible is easily eroded. Tourism, weathering, and time threaten the very ruins that survived centuries buried in silence. Preservation efforts continue, but Petra remains a delicate wonder. So, what can we learn from Petra? First, that civilizations rise and fall, often leaving behind mysteries that take centuries to rediscover. Second, that survival depends on adaptability. The Nabataeans turned a desert into a garden city through innovation. And finally, Petra reminds us that history is never truly gone. It waits, buried beneath the sands of time, until someone rediscovers it. From its golden age as a desert capital, to its centuries of silence, to its rebirth as a global icon, Petra's story is one of wonder, mystery, and resilience. It is, quite literally, a city carved out of time. So the next time you see the glowing red cliffs of Petra in a photograph or film, remember, you are looking at the remains of a city that the world forgot for 1,500 years, and that still speaks to us today.